Prevention is one of the core tenets of my book, Why Our Pets Are Unhealthy. And it's discussed often in the book, but not directly. So one of the topics I introduce early in the book and also discuss often is the fact that modern Western healthcare, the industry, and it is an industry, think about that. The modern healthcare industry for people and pets is based on modern science. And modern science is all about physics and mathematics. And that's great. Modern science and physics and mathematics are really good at building, the Hoover Dam and skyscrapers and suspension bridges and satellites and orbiting and space travel and airbags in your car. All these things are great, but they're very different from the complexity and the variability and what seems to be the randomness of nature and biology and health. Modern science is not good at anything related to health. So another thing about modern science is it's based on chemicals, because the modern chemical industry came right before the industry of modern medicine was developed 100 years ago or so. So what this means for prevention is the only way that modern Western medicine for people or pets can try to actually prevent a disease is by using chemicals. But the chemicals are toxic. I mean, they're chemicals. They're going to be toxic, especially if you inject them into the body, or even the monthly topicals, the pills that the pets take. The flea and tick preventions are defined as neurotoxins. They stop nerves and brain cells from working. That's how they kill insects. So they're toxins and they're neurotoxins. So what happens is modern Western medicine will promote and push and badger you and guilt you into having these chemicals injected into your pets or your children's vulnerable bodies. And this is something that cannot be undone or removed or reversed. Once these are injected into the body and you have this chemical toxicity, you can't undo it. And the industry, healthcare industry, veterinary and human, they do this and they push all this on you before you really have time to think about it or to ask why. They don't ask why, the industry doesn't ask why, and they don't give you a chance to think long enough for you to actually come up with the idea that maybe you should ask why. And in fact, everything in our modern education system and industrial society in general encourages us to not ask questions and to simply put the fate of our pets and our own health in the hands of the very industrial corporations that profit by selling the drugs and the preventative injections. Well, the fact is, with prevention, that modern Western medicine really isn't preventing anything. Instead, they're using toxic chemicals to try to combat a disease or a parasite or something. So even though they call it prevention, it's not, because it's not proactive, it's reactive. They're reacting to something. Now, the only reason they get away with using the word prevention is because they're reacting to something in anticipation of it happening. They react to things before it occurs. That's because they know, or they strongly suspect it's going to occur. Your dog or cat might be susceptible to rabies or parvo or distemper or fleas or ticks or heartworms. Because the modern industry sees that those things tend to happen, they have these chemicals that help stop them from happening, and that's called prevention. And that is the definition of the word prevention, or even to preclude something from happening. But this is still reactive and not proactive. Even though they're trying to get the jump on something or combat something or ambush it before it happens, they're still reacting to something they know is going to happen. This isn't true proactive health. Prevention should be proactive, not an anticipatory reaction. So I can't find the right word for this. I don't even know if we have the right word or phrase for this in modern society. But what we want to do is we want to aim for a body or an immune system or a lifestyle that isn't susceptible or prone to diseases and parasites, so that we don't have a need to combat them or preclude them. We want to be able to exist without them even being a problem. And that's your true proactive approach. Thanks.